Manouk Akopyan. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to our partners, personal injury attorney Nelson Gavorkian.
You know what? I'm not 68, but you're only 3 pounds off.
You can fight Canelo if you're at 68.
I'm a few pounds over, but I'm still in fighting weight for any time. And I don't mean the ring. I mean, you got to stay ready, not get ready. And that's our motto, me and Oscar. We always tell our fighters, don't get ready, stay ready. And I'm just getting ready for the suits and the free clothes I get from different designers.
Is Ryan Garcia ready?
Ryan Garcia is definitely mentally, physically, and spiritually ready to make the return back to the ring. Boy, how time flies when you're having fun, or in some cases when you finding your inner self, finding your inner soul, your inner spirit. And when things happen in between those times, you get to reflect. I'm assuming that any human being, whether we agree to disagree, even if it's myself or anyone else, get a chance to reflect when you sat down for a minute. And when you sat down or you sit down for a minute, you get a chance to reflect. And those reflections could be anything. And they could be life-changing, and it could be career-changing, and it could be all above. So I look, this might be strange to most people, and corny people that might hear this. They got a lot of corny people out there. This might be the biggest blessing that Ryan Garcia received based on having the time to reflect and things personally with his family, his mother, his kids. You get to look back now at the first chapter, and now he's at the second act when he returns back to the ring. I can imagine how huge that's going to be from the haters and the supporters. That's going to be an event itself. I believe that's going to be an event itself based on the popularity. And people are curious about curious people.
Absolutely. And with Ryan, as a former fighter yourself, do you see any merits in this lawsuit with Haney? I mean, it seems like it's a little first time we're seeing something like this after a fight.
I'll let the judge and the fans and the peers of that state, when it gets to that, rule on what they need to rule. We know what we saw in spite of the world. And I believe that's the last picture and the last sight that they remember Devin Haney from, is in that ring fighting Ryan Garcia. Whatever comes after that is soap opera-ish, and it will continue to be that. It just takes time, patience, and of course lawyers.
Oscar said that he thinks Devin's a shot fighter. Do you agree with that? After that, after that kind of a beating, he believes Devin will be a shot fighter.
I believe every tough fight of that magnitude, or even bigger, takes anything out of the strongest fighter in any weight class. I mean, I don't believe and think the body is built and made to be beat on. That itself, look at football players. Look at running backs compared to a tight end or to a punter. Whose career mostly it's going to last longer, the running back or the punter? I'll go with the punter. So look at boxing in that magnitude, and then if you add on the style of the fighter, the approach or lack of the fighter, could be within 10 years he's out of there. If he's lucky, he get 10.
Mm-hmm. Oscar said he met with Ryan today. I'm sure you're a part of those conversations as well.
I met with him also. We met with him together.
What's the plan for him? What do you think a great return date and opponent would look like for Ryan?
Right now, Ryan is enjoying his family and his time that he had, and he's also told me he missed boxing because I asked him. In the middle of a conversation of something different conversation, I asked him because I felt that he missed it. And as a former pugilist, I understand based on what I'm hearing, based on what I'm feeling, and looking him straight in his eyes and asking him, you miss boxing, don't you, Ryan? I said, yeah, man. And a smile. He literally smiled, got up, we hugged and grabbed each other and embraced each other that it's almost over. But Ryan got a plan, and his plan is going to be great, and people are going to hear that real soon before he's eligible to come back in the ring.
Would that be something like in December, maybe Bernard in Japan? Because we've heard thoughts of him fighting in Japan in an exhibition.
Are you sleeping in his closet or under his bed?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, your whispers is not too far off, my buddy. But let me tell you something. It's going to be something big. It's going to be something, I believe, I look at it as a commercial of what's to come next when he's eligible to get back in the sweet science of competition with a loaded weight division that he's a part of in this era that he's part of. And I'm pretty sure Elliot Setback can agree to that there are many, many good fights out there for Ryan to be in, that boxing do need those type of fights that he can be a part of in this second act going forward. And know what? Wherever he fights at, which I'm biased, I would want it to be in America first. I wanted to be here first. Big stadium, big soccer stadium. And then we move on to the bigger and better things. But, it's all up to Ryan. And what I heard today, other than when he's asked from me, do you miss boxing? I just can't wait till the time come when we be able to, the world be able to see Ryan second act. I'm excited to see the second act.
PBC, like the Gervonta Davis rematch, do you think that's something we could see in 2025?
Listen, that's a fight that would do a great in popularity, and also whether Ryan can, to some, redeem himself based on the last fight, that he really feels that the first fight with Davis, we know how that went. And the second fight, you look at that, he got a victory, but it turned into what we know it is now, a violation and also a whole bunch of scrutiny. He feels that he still haven't reached over that hump where he win a fight, move on, get the respect, get the accolades that come with those big super fights, and move on to something bigger and better after that achievement. But that didn't happen. And it's not saying it didn't happen because of someone else, it happened because of the circumstances. But it comes a time where you have to, as we spoke at this meeting, to not look at what's in the back of you, the rear window or mirror. You must look in the now and in the future. And he's committed to do that from his words. He's committed to do that. That's what he gave me an Oscar, and everybody else was at that meeting. That he's ready to go forward when that time comes. But in between time, he's going to prepare himself physically and mentally to step in that ring for the second act. You only get two in reality of boxing. The beginning, which is the establishment, and then the second half is defending, building Hall of Fame status and credibility even more in history. So his return, from my perspective, I said it to him. When you say it to him, when you see him, when you interview him, I said the second act, what does that mean? He'll tell you. We're in the second act when he comes back.
Before he gets a chance at that second act, he obviously has to follow up with his suspension, and then there's the lawsuit. How does the lawsuit, can that keep him out of
the lawsuit is the lawsuit. Listen, we're in America, you don't have to be right to sue. The lawsuit doesn't mean you're guilty, the lawsuit doesn't mean you're innocent. The lawsuit means that the facts must prove your claims, and the counterclaim must prove your claims. So, listen, when people get sued, don't think for one reason, unless you're ignorant, that that person is wrong or right. Let's see it play out. We know, obviously, Golden Boy been sued also. So it's not just one thing. We in it to win it with Ryan. How Ryan feels, quote, is the same way we feel, quote.
This lawsuit here, the fans feel some type of way. Some are with it, some aren't. Which is your thoughts on Devin going this route as a professional fighter?
Well, you ain't gotta go by my thoughts, go by what you see and what you hear and what the fans say. It speaks for itself. I ain't the beginner or the end all. Just look what the fans are saying. I don't have to buy a ticket to his fight. I don't have to say it was a good or bad thing he did. Only thing I can do is say the fans is the ones that keep your lights on when you fight. The fans is the one that buy the tickets. The fans is the one that sells out the stadiums you're at. If you is one of those fighters that can get a decent amount of numbers and pay-per-view numbers to show the receipts that you are that guy. So no matter what I think, it's what the fans are saying. And just like you keep up on what the boxing world and was saying and being said, I'm in the know also. And I know what they're saying, sir. And you know what they're saying. So it ain't a question for me, it's a question that we already know. Because there's a time you move on. Or you stay stuck and you're traumatized. I can tell you, even though you didn't ask me, I never experienced in my time or the time before mine, they gotta be like the Hagler and the Leonards and things, where the fighter got his ass kicked and sued. I mean, again, people gonna get mad at me, even though why he said that he cheated. I never seen, I mean, is this it? No, you said that. I'm gonna say what I said again so everybody won't get confused. I thought I never, and I said it this way, I thought I would never see a fighter literally gets his ass kicked and turn around and sue months later. I mean, this gotta be, I hope it ain't the generation, because I respect this generation to a point. But I hope we ain't getting to this generation and going forward where this become contagious. I think it's a bad look personally, but what do I know? What do I know?
Yeah, this is probably a stupid question, but a lot of people saying that.
Well, listen, never ask me a stupid question.
Okay, I won't ask you.
Because a stupid question gets you indicted.
Yeah,
I'm not the feds or the cops.
I was gonna ask about Bill Haney. Some of the fans are calling him out, being that he's quote unquote from the street, that he's gonna lose street credibility with this lawsuit. Which is your thoughts on that? You yourself coming from a hard upbringing.
So they look at it as like stitching. I mean, not stitching, stitches. You can't get stitches for it. But they look at it as like snitching or call him, foul or whatever. But depending on who you talk to. I think the proper word is opportunities. When you get an opportunity to do something, most people will do it. But you gotta have the opportunities in your body, in your soul. You see an opportunity, somebody whisper to you, or you see an opportunity, some go for it. Maybe it stick, maybe it won't. But I think at the while you gotta reevaluate yourself and look at the mockery and the foolishness of it. Let's move on. You know how you settle problems? Listen, man, I don't know everything. Like, I'm just trying to, my best way to settle anything at that moment when it comes to sports like that, let's run it back.
You'd like to see that, Bernard? when he's eligible to fight, which I think is June the 14th.
Yo, listen, that's around the corner.
Not far.
Spring be here in a minute.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you want it? Look all this. Look what we're talking about. We would love to see it. I mean, if anyone here that's doing this interview with me is over 4, 5, 6, put a poll up whenever you feel like you need to do it, and say how many people want to see the Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney rematch. That's what you do. You go to the fans, because they the ones get rewarded and they the ones that get cheated, unfortunately. So let's not ask. Man, I can give you my opinion, but to me, I want to put it in a bigger situation. I could be wrong about this.
Yeah, it seems like it absolutely needs to happen.
But I could be. Listen, I could be wrong. I'm taking a chance here.
Do you know
ask the fans. Do a poll and ask the fans. Would y'all want to see? Not rather. Would y'all want to see a rematch between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney? I guarantee you they say yes.
Did Ryan tell you today what weight he wants to return at?
Yeah, I was going to say.
The weight that he's left at.
143.
143, 147. Depending on the fighter, depending on who the guy.
So he's open to a catch weight in between somewhere there for the right fight?
Yes.
So if Devin and him were going to do it, you think they could do it at 143, and that would be the weight?
I can tell you what I think he should fight when the time comes. You want to know? Because I thought y'all was going to ask me, but it seemed like we ain't going to get there.
Who do you like?
Shakur. I like to see him fight Shakur.
You think Shakur?
Because there's no advantage to this. Shakur been sitting on the pond, fishing, right? Shakur haven't been active, correct?
We're injured now too.
He haven't been active, correct?
No, correct.
Time Ryan is ready, that should be, I don't know for sure, I could be wrong, that should be a healing time between now and then for Shakur, correct?
Facts.
As long as he stay healthy. Out of the gate, no advantages. Would you agree? No advantage as far as being active.
Yeah.
Both fighters, correct?
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So but Shakur fights at 135. That would be a big step up for him.
Be in the middle.
But everyone moving around in weight now. I think boxing.
We're in a different era right now.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about weight. Right now, you're talking about Bud Crawford wants to fight Canelo Alvarez. I mean,
Who wins that fight, by the way?
yeah, see, now I'm start another interview. I'm not doing no more interview on that. But I just was countering your right hand that you threw at me, and I rolled with it. And I came back. I came Hall of Fame status. I came back with you can't use that trick because Crawford challenging and calling out Canelo Alvarez. So come on, man.
So, yeah, we've talked for years. Years ago, I talked to you about going to the Middle East for you yourself. Now you